Good morning.
Excellent. Morning.
Morning,
Morning,
Mr.
Sarah.
Fair. How are you?
I'm
Hello.
fine, thank you. How are you?
Good,
Hello
good.
to both of you. Now, we are live, but I think it might take a couple of minutes for the connection to kick in. But hopefully, very soon, the students in Singapore will be able to see us and hear us, because I can see both and hear both of you. That's fine. I don't know if you can see at the bottom of your screen, mine says 0 viewers at the moment, which is quite normal. It does take a minute or two to come through. But if you can see us so far, then hi, welcome to Living and Working on the Web. I'm going to just ramble very vaguely for a few minutes until I see the viewer numbers start to go up, and hopefully you'll all be able to see and hear us okay, and then we can get started. So if you can hear me, there is a Q&A button. If you move your mouse to the left hand side of your screen, you should see a little Q&A button, and if you press that, it brings up a question box, and you can ask a question, or you can make a comment. And we can't actually see you or hear you, so if you can actually see this so far, then just pop a comment or a question in the box, and then we'll know there's someone there. I'm starting to get, yes, it says 5 viewers now. Brilliant.
Yay.
That's fantastic. So we won't start until, so I know there's 40 or more of you, but some of you are joining in through one screen at the university and others are working from home. That's absolutely fine. That's all part of the flexibility of this module. But just wait a couple of minutes so we can be sure we've got everyone. Brilliant. Kai, I've got a question from Kai, so you can see and hear us okay, hopefully. I think you sent me one of the first tweets last night as well, so thank you for that. I was very impressed. Sarah and I were having a conversation on Twitter last night that we were amazed that you guys were sending us tweets at about 3 o'clock in the morning for you.
Very impressive and very polite they were too.
Yes. Yeah, and there's been a load more this morning. I've started to answer the ones that came in overnight, but I haven't managed to get to them all yet because I was getting this Hangout set up. So if I haven't replied, I'm not ignoring you. Right, hello, Nicole. Brilliant. So Sarah and Nick, can you see the questions coming up on your side?
Yeah, I can see them fine.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay. So it looks like, yeah, we're up to 23 viewers on the score sheet, and comments from Nicole. That's fantastic.
And Yulin has just commented.
Oh yes, fantastic. Right, so I think we can probably get started then. So if any of you do have any issues, if you can't hear us or see us, just pop, hopefully if you're still connected, pop something in the question box and we'll see what we can do. If you have any major issues, you won't be able to are not able to connect at all, then these sessions are automatically recorded and saved on our YouTube channel. So you won't miss anything. You can then watch it at your convenience directly as a recording from YouTube. So if you have got any issues getting connected to this or any sound problems, then you won't miss out. You just won't actually get it live. Okay, so I think we'll kick off then. We're up to 30 viewers now on the score sheet and a few comments, and no one's panicking, which is good. So I'm Lisa, and I'm joined here, as you can see, hopefully on the screen, by Sarah and Nick. So I'm just going to pop Sarah on the big screen, and I'm going to pop Nick on the big screen. Right, yes. So Sarah, your picture's looking wobbly. I hope you're not on your boat.
I am on my boat actually, but I don't know why it's wobbly.
Oh no, that's fine. No, it's not a problem. We can see you fine. I think it was just the background. The Atlantic waves are battering your boat.
I'm resting it on my laptop on my knee because I don't have a desk, obviously.
That's why it's wobbly then. Yeah. That's why it's wobbly. Okay, so I'll get the guys to introduce themselves properly in just a minute. So all right, I think we're okay to go. So the purpose of this first session really is to explain to you how the module works. I know some of you have said in the tweets that it's new to you, you've not done anything like this before. Well, great. That's not always nice to do something new. We did run this module last year, and it worked fine with the Hangouts and the blog. And hopefully you've all had a chance now to have a look at the blog and the getting started instructions, which we'll just go through in a minute and take any questions you might have got about those. So perhaps then we should start. I should start by introducing my colleagues here properly and let them say a few words about why they're here and why they think this type of module is important. So I'm going to beam over to Sarah first because she's the nearest to my mouse.
Oh, sorry, sorry, it's the dog. I have my dog next to me who is trying to nose her way in.
Oh, okay. Well, I've shut mine in the kitchen, so hopefully he won't be butting in. So hi Sarah, do you want to say a few words?
Yeah, okay. Hi everybody. I'm Sarah. I'm a first year PhD student. I used to be a teacher. I was a teacher for about, I think it was 11 years, and just got a bit tired of doing that and decided I needed to do something else, and came to Southampton University and did the web science course. I am a firm believer in digital literacy, which is kind of the boring way of saying that we need to use the tools that are available on the web to their best advantage and to help us. And also, in this day and age, everybody needs a digital profile online. So I'm afraid we need to be on places like Twitter and LinkedIn, and we need to be getting ourselves out there because that's what employers these days are looking for. My partner, the last job he had, it was very obvious that his employer were checking all of his online profiles, so they checked him out on Twitter, Facebook, he's also got a blog. They checked all of those things while they were also doing the normal references. So that is the way things are today, and so we need to be in control of our digital profiles and we need to manage them, and that's why I'm here helping you to do exactly the same thing.
Brilliant, thank you very much. We'll move over to Nick.
Yeah. Hello everyone. I don't know if you've managed to switch over to my picture yet, but it doesn't show me on my screen. Yeah, my name's Nick Fair. I'm a PhD student as well, and I'm particularly interested in networked learning and personal learning networks. In other words, how we use digital tools to learn more effectively, and that includes things like learning from each other, learning from different sources, sharing things, getting comments back. And this course is a direct reflection of that type of approach, where you will post up your blogs, receive comments from your peers and from us, and develop your learning in a much more relevant and modern way than previously has been done.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Nick. Okay, so I think what might be useful to do now is I will share my screen with you and hopefully flip over to the blog, and I can just talk through briefly how you should be getting started with things on this module. So if you just bear with me a second, I'm just going to go to screen share. Right. So what do I want to show you? Okay. So hopefully now, perhaps Sarah or Nick, you could confirm you should be able to see the blog on the screen now, yeah?
Yep, works fine.
Brilliant. Okay. So this, everyone, is the module blog, which is fairly thin at the moment because so far the only person who's posted on it is me. But what we'll be doing, here we go, there's some tweet. Oh, fantastic. Mabel, I hope you can see this. Your tweet with a picture of Sarah in the Hangout has just come up on the blog. That's amazing.
Good job, Mabel.
Yes, that's fantastic. What else have we got in here? So it's very important that, here we go, there's some more tweets in here. Feeling excited from Andrea. The first lesson is going to start soon. Yes, okay. Clinton, Andrea again. So there's loads of tweets here. We've pulled all the tweets that use the module hashtag, which is, as you know, Mange2049, all of those are coming through into the blog, so you can see what people are saying and talking about the module. So we'll pop up tweets about deadlines and notices and things, just reminders to help you. And if you've got questions or comments, or you want to share any articles or videos, then feel free to tweet and use the module hashtag, and all of them will come through here. But that's brilliant. I really like that picture. Okay, so apart from the tweets, the only thing on the blog so far is the 2 posts that I've made. You will notice across the top we've got some pages. There's an assessment page that tells you how this module is assessed. There's the study guide, which basically goes through the structure of the module and how it works and what the content will be. There's a bit of blurb about the tutors, which I don't think Nick and Sarah have filled in yet, so slap on the wrist for them. But we'll get that sorted. And you'll also see 2014 archive. This is all the tweets from all the students on last year's module. So that is a resource for you. You can see exactly what people did last year, and you're very welcome to read and comment on any of their posts. Hopefully some of them will still be blogging and tweeting, so you'll be able to interact with them, and you may well know some of these people anyway because they're just in the year above you in Singapore. So all of that resource is there. If you read someone's work and you think, hey, that's really good, it's given me a good idea that I want to try for my posts, then you should just credit that person. You should just say in your blog post where you got the idea from, and give a link to that person's work. So you reference them and their blog in the same way as you'd reference an article that you read for your course. So we very much encourage you to interact with others. You might interact with people completely outside the module altogether, outside the country. They could be anywhere in the world, and that's fine. We have another group of students here actually based in Southampton who are studying this module at the same time as you. It's got a different code, but it's essentially the same module. They're doing it over a whole term, so they've got 12 weeks for what you're doing in 12 days. And before you think they've got a really easy ride, actually they do 4 modules at once, whereas you just do 1 at a time. So effectively it's the same workload, it's just structured differently. But you're very welcome to interact with them as well. And in fact, next week you're both going to be doing the same topic at the same time. So that would be a perfect opportunity to interact and read and comment on each other's work across the 2 modules. So all of that general background information is there at the top of the blog. So if we look at the first welcome post then, and I'll just highlight to you what you should be doing from here. So we're saying that there'll be a Hangout, obviously you know that if you're watching this, and we'll give you a link each day, and we'll tweet that link as well so you can access the Hangout. And I guess critically for the first stage, you need to be setting up your own blogs, and hopefully some of you may already have one that you want to use, or you may have already had a look at WordPress or something similar and got started with that. And the module blog will start looking a lot fuller, because once you've set up your own blogs, then we can connect them into this blog. So you will see in a list under where it says YouTube here, there'll be a list of everybody's name on the module and a link through to your own blogs. So we'll be able to see all of your posts, all the ones that relate to the module anyway, will come through into this one, and everything will be in one place. So we need to do a bit of setup to get that working, and Sarah will talk to you in a minute about the information she needs from you in order to get that up and running very quickly. Okay, so I've already mentioned about the module hashtag MANG2049. So make sure you use that if you're tweeting, or you can tag your blog posts with that hashtag. Makes them much easier for us to find and read. And there's a bit of background. There's a link to the assessment page about how to get started with writing. So that's the basic getting started post. And then if I just go to the other one quickly, if you start a WordPress blog for yourselves, it could look very similar to this. We use WordPress. You don't have to use WordPress, but I think you'll find, because the course blog is a WordPress one, it's easier to integrate yours if you use the same platform. But if you've already got one that's using a different platform, I'm sure we can manage to do something with it. Right, so the next post here, getting started. Let's see what I said. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's a very short time that you've got to get through this module. So we do need to get some admin things set up quickly so that we can get you all started and all working through at the same speed and to the same deadlines. So it's very important that we get the right information from you, so we can get all of that working, hopefully while you're sleeping this evening. Okay, so I guess the main things you'll need to be aware of are how the whole thing fits together. And we have, if you can see on the screen, or you should have a copy of this yourselves, this is the one-page summary of the entire module. Let's see if I can make it a bit bigger. That's better. Okay, so you can see day by day on here, this is a calendar of what you should be doing at each point on the module. And it might look totally confusing at this stage, but we will be having these Hangouts every day, so you've got plenty of opportunities to ask questions and make sure that you're on track. So obviously we're back here at the moment on day 1, and we're saying you should be, at this point, have read the guides, read the module blog posts that are there already, and be starting to set up your own blog and getting that up and running. And if you've done that, then you're very much on track for this point of the module, and that's absolutely fine. So we've also put on here the deadlines, just so that you're clear for each of the posts that you have to make, and also how the marks are allocated for each post. Probably don't need to get into that detail at the moment. You're not actually starting on topic 1 until Friday, so I'm not going to go through every single line on this diagram, but just to flag up that this is your overall summary of how it all fits together. So it's a particularly important document. Right, and
1 second, Lisa.
Yes, Nick.
We've had a question from Ryan.
Okay.
Suggesting that he's using Blogspot instead of WordPress.
Okay.
Is he okay to do that? Yes,
that should be fine. We've used Blogspot before. I think the last time someone used it, their posts came through twice, but that's a minor problem, and it may well be fixed by now anyway. So yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Great, thank you.
Are there any? Actually, it's a good point. Are there any other questions while I'm rabbiting on? Is there anything else in there? Or if anyone
I've been looking, but that's the one that we needed to talk about.
Okay, great. Okay, I was just going to show the getting started 9 steps diagram now, which perhaps Sarah could talk through, because this is information that Sarah needs to collect from you.
Yeah.
There's this really pretty diagram which shows you quite clearly in 9 steps how everything hangs together, and what we need from you straight away. So Sarah, did you want to say a few words about this?
Yeah, can do. The most important thing actually is towards the end of this diagram, where there's a link to a form that you need to fill out with your details. There it is, there's the link, that long blue, yeah, that's the one. So that will take you to a form where I need you to enter things like your Gmail address, and if you haven't got a Gmail account, you really need to set one up, because the Gmail address will allow me to link you to your own personal feedback form, which will have your marks for each topic blog post and comments from myself or Nick or Lisa, because we're all sharing, marking all of your work. So that's really important. After that, I need things like your Twitter address as well, because I will set up a list on Twitter with everybody's details in. That's another really good way of keeping in touch with everybody. So, you know, that form just basically takes you through each step in turn, but the most important one is number 5. You really need to do that as soon as you can, please. That would be fabulous.
Brilliant. Okay, so thanks, Sarah. I'm just thinking if there's anything else I wanted to show you on the screen. I opened up a few windows. Yeah, here we go. These are all last year's Hangouts. So you can see we had a few guests, and we're going to be doing that again at different days this time. So all of these are here from last year, and the one we're doing now will come in at the top. So after we finished, you'll see today's video will be here. It'll be the latest one. So just as a practical point, please make sure you're watching the right year, and you don't look at, say, Hangout 3 for 2014, which is down here, because it might be slightly different, and we don't want to confuse you. But just in case you do feel like you want to watch all of last year's Hangouts, they're all still there for you. And as I said, the new ones will come in at the top, so the latest one should always be at the top. You'll see last year here, these are two of the students from last year's group who actually beamed in to the final Hangout last year, so we'll be looking for more volunteers. Okay, here, this is the Southampton students, or the students based in Southampton. That's their version of this module, which has got a completely different code. It's UOSM2033. So if you want to bookmark that hashtag, you can see what they're up to on Twitter. And their blog is more complete than yours. The structure's the same, but it's more complete because they're on topic 2 at the moment. And you can see all of their tweets in the Twitter box. And you can see this is what I meant about bringing in student blogs, because all of these here are links to the students' blogs on this particular module. So your module blog will look like this once we've got your blog details and added those in. So you can see what they're doing as well. And as I keep saying, you're very welcome to read and comment and draw upon their work. Just make sure that if you use any aspect of it in your own posts, you provide a link to credit the author in the standard way. Okay, right. Let's see if we can get back to the main screen and stop sharing for a minute. Okay. And hopefully, right, you should be able to see me again now. So does anyone have any questions so far? And just having a look at what's here in the box. There's people saying hello, 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 that's fine. If you've got any questions based on anything we've been saying so far, then please just pop them in the Q&A box. I'm not seeing any new ones there. Okay. Right, so what else did we want to say now? Okay, so in terms of getting started then, I've talked about setting up your blogs, making sure you've read through the instructions about how the module works. If you've got any questions, if you think it's confusing, then please don't hesitate to ask either now, or you can tweet us afterwards, or you can email in the old-fashioned way if you prefer. But we don't want anyone to feel confused. So hopefully you're all understanding. It's a bit difficult for us because we can't actually see you. So I don't know if you're sat there looking puzzled or bored or whatever. So perhaps you could just pop a few comments in the box, just to, if you're happy, just say that you're happy. Then that will reassure us that we're on the right track so far. Anyone? So if you just want to pop something in the box to say that you're all understanding so far, that would be brilliant. I'm not seeing anything so far, so that's slightly worrying, but hopefully something will appear. We're apparently up to 38 viewers, which is great. That's fantastic.
There's a bit of a delay. I don't know whether it's just me, but that might also affect the questions coming through or comments coming through.
Yes, we noticed that in the test the other day, didn't we? That there is. It's quite funny if you've got the Hangout open on 3 different screens in the same room, so you can hear yourself talk, and then you can hear yourself coming through on the screen sometime later. Oh, brilliant! Edward's happy. That's good. That's good. Thanks, Edward. Glad to see that you're happy. Okay. So, Sarah or Nick, is there anything else you want to add at this point?
I don't think so. I just want the only thing I want to do is remind people that they need to when they're doing their own posts, to remember to categorise it as topic 1, topic 2, topic 3, topic 4, and so on, so that they do appear on our feed on the the Southampton blog page that you've just showed us. If they're not categorised, then they won't appear.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Thanks, Sarah. That's a really useful, practical point. Nick, yeah?
Yeah, I'd like to add that with this course in general, the more that you contribute to other people, so when somebody else posts, you read their post and you then comment on it, the more you will get back. So the more you give, the more you get. And in this type of module, that's very important. It's not just about blogging for yourself, but it's also about reading other people's blogs, commenting and helping and developing your understanding and learning together. So it's very important to keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, thank you, Nick. That's a really good point. We've seen that time and time again with this type of module, that people who really throw themselves into it get a huge amount out. So that's a very timely reminder. Okay, so just a few words now then about what you actually need to do beyond the administration of setting up your blog. What will you actually be doing with it? Well, basically, we cover 5 topics during the duration of this module. So there's a lot to get through in a short space of time. And for each of the topics, what we ask you to do is do some background reading relating to a specific question about that topic, and then you actually write a blog post to answer that question. And we give you a deadline for that, and I think the first deadline is going to be Friday night now for that. And then you have the next few days. You're lucky the way this module's timed, you've actually got the weekend in between, so you've got a bit of extra time. You've got some time then to read what other people have said in their blog posts in answer to the same question, and you can add some comments, and we ask you to make at least 2 comments on other people's blogs, which are then part of your assessment. And when you've done your reading and commenting, then you write what we call a reflective summary, which is basically what you've learned about the topic as a result of reading and commenting on other people's work since you did your original answer. Okay, so that's like a 3-stage process. You post, you comment, you reflect for each of the 5 topics. So we need to go through all of that for the 5 topics to the set deadlines in order to get through everything within the timescales of the module. So it's really important that everybody posts on time. And if you fall behind, you're going to struggle. So we will be checking every day exactly where you are and making sure that you're up to speed and not falling behind. So alongside of that, you're asked to think about your own profiles online. As Sarah mentioned in the introduction, how important it is now from an employment perspective that you've got a professional digital profile, because increasingly employers will expect that. You guys are all marketing students, so particularly in marketing, it's really important. You'll be doing for yourselves the sorts of things that you'll be doing on behalf of your employer in a marketing role. So blogging and tweeting, building online communities are all increasingly important for marketers. So it's a really good opportunity for you to practice and to get your own profiles looking good in order to help you stand out in the interview process.
Could I jump in there, Lisa, for a moment?
Yes, please do.
Thank you. Yeah, before I was a teacher, I've been teaching for 14 years now. I used to work in advertising, and I can confirm that it is extremely important to have a well-developed profile within that particular marketing advertising industry. So the importance of what Lisa was saying there is very high. You probably understand that already, but just to reiterate, that creating a brand for yourself is key in that industry. Yeah,
thanks, Nick. That's really important, and I think we'll be saying this a lot over the next couple of weeks. And as far as the assessment goes for the module, half of the assessment is based on your 5 topics and your posts in relation to those topics. The other half is based on how you develop your own digital profile alongside all of this. So we don't want you to forget that. Sometimes we find that people get so immersed in the topics on this module that they forget about the other side of it, which is building their own profiles. So that means for different people it will be different priorities depending on what kind of role you're looking to go into and what you've already done or not done in the past. But there are things that all of us can do online in order to improve how we come across to potential employers or to people we might want to work on a project with, whatever it might be. So we'll be looking at that alongside the 5 topics through the module.
Lisa, we've had another question.
Yes.
Cheryl asks, do we follow Singapore or UK time?
Well, I think I'm just looking at my printout here. We've put Singapore time. Yeah, we're looking at your times for the deadlines. Obviously, the Hangouts, I think we have to, when we set them up, we have to use the time zone that we're in. So this Hangout looks like it's starting at 7 in the morning. Well, it's 7:30 in the morning, which obviously it isn't for you. But yeah, as far as deadlines are concerned, we're looking at your times, not ours.
Okay, Singapore time.
Singapore time.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any other questions in there, or
Not
feel
that
free
I've
to
spotted so far.
add more?
No, not that I've spotted so far.
So there's a few people who said hello, which is great. I'm just checking down the list. Right, people are saying good. All right, excellent. Oh, I'm glad. Wonderful. Ryan says it's wonderful. Oh, Ryan, hi. Yeah, you sent the very first tweet yesterday. Brilliant. Okay, so just making sure I've covered everything. I'm just going to share this screen again because there's one more thing, at least, that I wanted to cover. So you get the right box. Okay. Now we've given you a link to this post. You should now be able to see a different blog. This is the Student Digital Champions blog. And there's a post with a picture, which you might recognise as a sideways view of Sarah and me. And this is a post we did for another module recently, but I thought it provided a good introduction to this. It's basically our rationale, why we think that living and learning and working on the web is important and something you really ought to be paying attention to. So I've given you a link to this post, and it talks about basically our rationale, and there's a link to a little video that we did where we just talk about why we think digital literacy is important. I'm not going to play it now because it's slightly weird to be on a Hangout with us watching a video of us saying things that we could say directly in the Hangout, but you can obviously watch that for yourselves. And it also illustrates that when you're writing your own posts, it's not just about text. And increasingly, the way the web is going, it's really about how you creatively use image and embedded objects. So you can see it's very easy within a WordPress blog to add in photos and embed videos. So within the text of the blog, there is a link you can play this video. And there are also some slides which we used for a recent course, but they're obviously relevant to you guys as well. So in terms of background, why we think this is important, then please have a look at those slides, and there's some links to further resources, videos and things to watch, which basically hopefully support what we've been saying about the module. So hopefully, I'm not sure if you can read this directly if you're close enough to your screens, but the rationale for the module is really highlighted in this post, because it's easy, isn't it, to read in a newspaper or on the television or directly through Facebook, lots of stuff about bad things that happen online, cyberbullying, for example, people's identity being stolen. We hear all the bad side, but we don't really hear so much about how people can use the web creatively and proactively, whether that's to build a business or to support a charity or whatever it might be. There's lots of really positive things that the web is really helping us with, building our networks, as Nick was saying earlier. So that's really what we're focusing on here. Is we're not saying that we're going to ignore the negative side. Certainly happy to have plenty of debates about good and bad things that occur online, but really we want to emphasise that if we are digitally literate ourselves, then that helps to promote all the positive ways in which the web can add value to our lives and to those we engage with. So the sorts of things we're talking about are not just blogging, obviously, but as you'll see when you come to do the first topic, you can Google the topic and you'll get thousands of results. So the sorts of things, the sorts of skills we need to develop are, how do we actually get the information we need? How do we decide which articles to draw upon, which person's opinion is more valid or less valid than another's? All these kind of questions are very difficult to deal with sometimes, and something we need to develop an ongoing appreciation of for everything we read. Can we trust this? Is it correct? How can we validate it? That kind of thing.
Lisa, we've had another question.
Fine, great, beam in.
So the question is, it's from Shannon. She says, we have to set up a blog and post an introduction message. What is expected of our message? What should we include in it?
Right, okay, that's a very good question. Thanks, Shannon. Right, I'm just going to stop sharing this screen a minute so I can answer that properly. Right. Okay, should be back to us now. Okay, yeah, so in terms of introduction, when you set up your blog, there's an option to create an about page, which is basically your opportunity to put in a bit of text about yourself, who you are, your interests, what you're doing. You can put in links to other digital profiles that you might have. So that's a very good post to do to get started, is to just fill out your about page on the blog. But it's reminded me that one of the things we've said you should be doing is what's called a self-test. And I think I actually had it listed for tomorrow, but it won't hurt to talk about it now. There's a one-page document we've linked to, which is basically just a little table asking you to reflect on how you use the web currently. So, for example, do you participate in the online communities? Do you read and comment on people's blogs? Do you network with people via Twitter? So it's really just asking you, as of now, what you do and don't do online. So it's really a little audit. It's very quick. It'll only take a couple of minutes to do. But what some people did quite effectively last year was they completed that document and then they posted it on their blog with a bit of commentary to say what areas they felt they needed to develop further, or which areas they felt they were particularly good at. So just a short commentary about their current level of web skills. And you'll find that really useful, because when it comes to the end of the module, then you're asked to reflect back on how your online behaviour has changed as a result of doing this module. So you can look back then at that document and say, oh, I know I've really developed in this particular area since then, and think about why you might have done that and what benefits it's brought you. So in terms of just getting back to Shannon's question then, so in terms of what you should be posting, it would be good to complete the about page and also to complete your self-test document and perhaps do a short post commenting on that and what areas you think you need to focus on. Is that okay? Does that answer your question, Shannon?
Hopefully it does. We've had another nice question from Jun Y, very kindly. He asked whether we've had a chance to have breakfast yet this morning.
No, we haven't. I hope you can. This is my really my really healthy breakfast here. It's a kind of cake thing, but no, I haven't. I thought it would be really rude to be munching it while I was talking to you, so no, I haven't
I haven't had mine either.
I have had mine.
And I've got a very cold cup of coffee here as well. So yeah, we'll sort that in just a minute. Don't worry.
Thank you for asking, Jim White.
Any other questions from anyone?
Don't think so at the moment.
Right. Okay. Well, I think we've probably done enough for the getting started hangout. Like I said, we'll be back on here tomorrow, and in the meantime, if you could be sending through your blog and your Twitter and your Gmail details to Sarah, that would be fantastic. Then we can get all of your blogs hooked into the main course blog, which is what we really need to get things started. So yeah, good to see some people are saying all's well and they're happy. Brilliant. Thank you. So if you've got any further pressing questions, please raise them now. Otherwise, we will think about summing up and signing off for today. So I don't know if you guys, have you got any kind of closing thoughts while we just wait to see if there are any more questions coming through?
I was just going to say, if anybody thinks of anything, of course you can always ask your question via Twitter, and we'll pick it up and respond there.
Yes, and don't forget to use the hashtag, the module hashtag. But yeah, that's fantastic. I know I've still got some tweets to respond to, so I'll get onto those very shortly. Nick, was there anything from you?
No, I think we've covered everything well. As I said, just get involved, be proactive, and the more you give, the more you get.
Brilliant. Okay, so I'm just going to check the Q&A box one more time. Okay, we've done Shannon's. Great. Oh, there's the breakfast question. Okay, so no, I'm not seeing any more questions, so I think it looks like we might be done for today.
Thank you, yes.
Yeah.
Saying that we're awesome. We feel we probably are. We try to be anyway.
Oh gosh, yes, I'm sorry. No, our pronunciation is probably... I'm sorry if we said anybody's name wrong. That is something that doesn't come across well on text, does it? Okay. So, all right, thanks then, everybody. It doesn't seem as though anyone's had any major technical issues. We've still got 36 viewers, according to this, so we can't have lost too many people. So hopefully you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you on here again tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon for you, morning for us, at the same time. So we're going to sign off now. And as I said, all of this will be it has been recorded as we've been talking. We'll pop it on our YouTube channel, and if you want to check back on anything, it will be there forever. Yeah, everything we post online is there forever, which is possibly good or possibly bad, depending on what it is. So feel free to come back to that if you need to. So, okay, there's no more questions, so I'm going to say goodbye. Do you guys just want to wave goodbye, and I will sign off.
Goodbye, everyone.
Thanks, Sarah and Nick, for getting up so early and beaming in. I think you're going to be doing alternate days, aren't you, from now on? And we may have some other guests coming up as well. Sarah, we're going to see the Southampton students very shortly, aren't we? So we'll see if we can get any of them to volunteer to join the Hangouts over the next few days. Okay, so goodbye, everyone, then, and we'll see you all tomorrow, hopefully. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.